Hello, my name is Ronald Schwartz. I am running for Grants Pass City Council Southwest Ward 4. I am currently employed at Three Rivers Community Hospital as a security officer. I've been working with them for about 3 years. Right now, Three Rivers Community Hospital is the largest employer in Josephine County medical industry. My background, I graduated from high school in Livermore, California, immediately joined the Air Force. I spent 6.5 years active duty with 1 year in Vietnam. When I got out of the Air Force, I came up to Southern Oregon and we started a family business called 199 Auction in Wonder, Oregon. We successfully ran and operated that business for about 3 or 4 years prior to selling it. In 1976, I joined the Grants Pass Police Reserves, and I spent 3 years as a reserve learning law enforcement. During that time, I also attended Road Community College. I hired on to the Grants Pass Police Department in 1979 as a patrol officer. I finished my 2-year degree in 1982. For the next 25 years, I worked for the city of Grants Pass as a police officer, moving up through the ranks, eventually being hired as the public safety director. I had that position for 7 years. Public safety director in the city of Grants Pass is the police and fire chief. When I retired in 2004, after 25 years, 25 very good years with the city, I had the opportunity to travel overseas as an international instructor. I went to the former Yugoslavian country of Kosovo, and we set up a community policing program in a fledgling democracy, and to this date it's one of the most successful programs working in Kosovo. I also instructed community criminal justice program classes and some other classes at Road Community College. I did that for about 2 years. Currently, with a job at the hospital, I have a fair amount of spare time. I play golf, I have a fishing boat, I have a fifth wheel, and a motorcycle. My educational background, as I stated, I've got a 2-year degree from Road Community College. I also have a Bachelor of Arts degree from Northwest Christian College. That degree is in management. My government experience, with the exception of 6.5 years in the Air Force and 28 years working with the city, is rather limited. Although when I was the public safety director, I sat on many governmental committees, some that I was required to and some that I just chose to. I was very connected to the community at that time. I sat on elderly abuse boards, I sat on mediation boards, I sat on a variety of different committees. Grants Pass has been extremely good to me. I've lived here for over 35 years. I have 2 sons born and raised here that are still working here. And that brings up some of the issues I'd like to talk about. The issues that are going to face the City Council in the next few years are extremely important. Economic development is one of those issues that has to be investigated, and we have to find ways to bring businesses into this community with family wage jobs. Public safety levy, been a controversy for 25, 30 years that I worked for the city. We need to find a way to fund public safety, either through property taxes on a solid property tax increment or alternative ways. And I have a couple of ideas how we might be able to raise some money to offset some of those costs. Urban growth boundary. Urban growth boundary is mandated by the state. We're in the middle right now of building a new urban growth boundary. All that is a footprint of where the city will grow to if it grows. The actual growth of the city is determined by the voters of the city. We need to make sure as we expand, we can bring services and infrastructure out properly. Parks and open spaces. I was in favor of the new parks plan. I realized there was some controversy over not the 250 acres on River Road should be included in it. There's no strings attached to that. The city owns that property. They can decide whether to make a park out of it or what use they want to use for it. Wastewater treatment plant. If we're going to expand, we're going to have to expand our wastewater treatment plant. There was a provision a few years ago prior to my retiring where DEQ was going to require all stormwater to be treated before it went into the city or back into the river. That's been on hold for a while, but that could come up again. That's huge. Sign code. Sign code seems to be a big issue here. I remember getting 2 or 3 recognitions as Tree City USA. Personally, I'd rather be Tree City USA than Billboard City USA. So I think the sign code is important. I've lived in Grants Pass for 35 years. I raised 2 boys here. They're raising families here. They were both fortunate to be able to stay and work here. I think those family wage jobs are extremely important. I've been a member of the Grants Pass Elks Lodge for 11 years. In 7, 2008, I was the exalted ruler, which is the CEO. That's a $1.6 million organization. I was just elected as a trustee in that organization. I'm also a member of Concerned Fathers Against Crime. For those of you who don't know what that is, we go out and patrol every 8 weeks. We patrol for the police department. If we see a problem, we call them. We stand by and become good witnesses. One of the things I'd like to relay is that there are no special interest groups behind me. I'm not a banker, I'm not a developer, and obviously the Fire Rescue Division has thrown their support into my opponent, one of my opponents. I'd like to say something to the Grants Pass Fire Rescue Division at this point. Going into mediation on a contract with the city of Grants Pass in such dire economic condition right now is not a good idea. The city just spent $5 billion to buy 2 new fire stations and new equipment. Your past history says that if you're going into mediation, the next step is binding arbitration. And one of the reasons your union representative didn't think I was a very good public safety director at the time and morale was so bad is because you lost 2 binding arbitrations under my leadership. And that was in the best interest of Grants Pass. The International Association of Firefighters seems to be who you align yourselves with. You need to align yourselves with the citizens of Grants Pass. This is a tough time. We all need to hunker down. You need to make the right decision. Settle your contract. You'll have another opportunity to come back and ask for what it is you want. Settle your contract right now. Thank you.